But we are going to take a brief moment and talk about the elephant not in the room.
Trump administration.
Donald Trump.
The coming trials of Donald Trump. Former President Donald Trump.
Former President Trump.
President Trump.
Former President Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
President Trump.
Donald Trump.
President Trump. Trump is the most disliked politician in America.
Donald Trump. That's exactly right.
President Trump. Donald Trump.
The solution is not 4 more years of Donald Trump.
Yes, the Republican candidates debate last night on the Fox News channel. Here that was Nikki Haley saying Donald Trump is the most disliked politician in America. You had Brett Baer, you had all the other Republicans. Trump. They got Trump on the brain. He wasn't there. And by a number of different metrics, he's the story of the night. He's the talk of the town. He's the, as Brett Baer said, the elephant not in the room. And that's true enough. The New York Times, very angry all the time, they are. The first GOP debate, they love their colons. Republicans couldn't avoid Trump, but tussled over the issues. Wah, 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 and on. It was something to see. The Hill in Washington, Republican debate live updates, See, there's colons again. GOP rivals trade insults. Trump talks to Tucker. That was a very different affair altogether. It really was. And it was much more highbrow. It was definitely more highbrow than the Republican debate on the Fox News channel. And I'm still looking to see what the ratings were. I haven't seen the ratings and the numbers on the Trump talking to Tucker on X, which we call X. And if you put a post on there, it's called an X post. But it's something to see in the news media coverage. You know, the news media thrives on, they nourish themselves on hate. And one of the things that they love to hate is President Trump, of course. They love to hate Trump. In order to love the hate, you have to hate the love. That's the thing about them. And the hatred of Trump is just like nothing I've ever seen before in my lifetime. The Democrat Party has whipped so many people into a frenzy about President Trump. Now, I understand President Trump says things from time to time that feed the fire also. But that said, you know, he was a famous New York billionaire who had his own TV show on NBC, and Oprah loved him, and they loved him on talk shows, and they put him in movies, and then he was a big celebrity, and everybody loved him. Then he said, well, I'm going to run for president. And everybody said, oh, yeah, Oprah. And everybody, oh, that's just read in The View. And they just thought he was so great. And he said, as a Republican, dun, dun, dun. And everything changed. And then the hate frenzy began. And it hasn't ended. Pretty amazing stuff. The BBC is covering the story, Trump, Tucker Carlson, and a shared hostility to Fox News. Gee, why would they have a hostility to Fox News? I don't understand. That's a thing. Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump reunite to try to upstage Fox, is the Washington Post take on this. And I want to share some of this with you, the interview that Tucker Carlson conducted, that President Trump agreed to do with Tucker Carlson. And I'm going to guess that in the end, they're going to have more viewers than the Fox News debate. I don't have the numbers in front of me now. But let's go to President Trump. You know what? It's only 17 seconds. Let's do it again. Let's do number 14. Tucker Carlson asked President Trump why he decided not to join in the debate with the loyalty pledge or whatever that was. And it's a loyalty pledge. Just don't be an oath keeper, you know. But if the loyalty pledge, that's you got to pledge that you're going to support, if Chris Christie is the candidate, that you're going to support him as president, which seems highly unlikely, and highly Selassie. So here is Tucker Carlson talking to President Trump.
Tonight in Milwaukee.
Uh-oh. Let's hit the other button, and then it'll sound like this.
Mr. President, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Why aren't you at the Fox News debate tonight in Milwaukee?
Well, you know, a lot of people have been asking me that, and many people said you shouldn't do them, but you see the polls have come out, and I'm leading by 50 and 60 points. And, you know, some of them are at 1 and 0 and 2.
We stopped on 2 because it was a great Donald Trump. He's got this flair for the, usually using the English language, and he punctuates certain words, accentuates certain words for effect, and does so very well. And it is amazing he went from being this beloved media figure to being the villain of the universe, because the left, and they knew that they could defeat him with Hillary, Diane, Rodham, Clinton in the Democrat seat. And then she lost, but she still says that it was stolen, doesn't she? She still says the election was stolen. When you're a Democrat, you're welcome to say the election was stolen. You can say it for the rest of your life. That's no problem. You can take it to court. You can take it all the way to the Supreme Court. You know, Terry McAuliffe, who was the DNC chair and the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, still says that the 2000 election was stolen. Democrats still say the 2004 presidential election was stolen. They won 2008 and 2012, so they don't believe those were stolen. And then Joe Biden won in 2020 with a record number of votes in American history because he's so great and so impressive, and he speaks so well. He's so eloquent, and he had such great plans for the United States of America. None of that is true, of course. But he got more than 80 million votes. That's more than 10 million votes more than Barack Obama got. You know why? Because the Democrats are racists. That's why. Got millions more votes than Hillary Clinton, too. You know why? Because the Democrat Party is sexist. They're the party of Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and Bill Clinton and Anthony Weiner, and the list goes on. They got Lolita One and Epstein Island, and Epstein turned the cameras off, and there were no guards around, and that's okay. Pay no attention. All the Democrats that flew on his plane and stayed on his island, the underage girls. You notice how that story just went away? Just went away. And they put that Ghislaine Maxwell, put her in prison, and she has vowed to not say anything, not a peep out of her, because, you know, she knows what can happen in a jail cell when you're there by yourself, like her boss, Jeffrey Epstein. But never mind that. It's, this Russian that got blown up on the airplane yesterday. Hillary Clinton had suggested years ago that maybe he was behind tampering in her election. So we should check Hillary's whereabouts yesterday, too, shouldn't we? Yes, we should. All right, let's go to, because, there's a strange series of coincidences surrounding people that have crossed the Clintons. Am I right? Kind of crazy. Just saying. All right, let's go to soundbite number 15. Number 15. President Trump talking to Tucker Carlson, and this goes to the Washington Post headline that I just shared with you. That because the media, I got to tell you, our media. What would we do if we had a legitimate news media? We'd be living in a very different country, as I'm fond of saying because it's true. So they united, the Washington Post said, in their disdain for Fox News. Fox News is an anti-Trump news channel. Brett Baier reportedly called President Trump about a week ago and said, please come on the debate. We need you on the debate. And he said, no. So he wasn't there. President Trump and Fox News. But, of course, they wronged Tucker Carlson because we all know why. The Murdoch sons and their left-wing wives, and Tucker Carlson, the most popular show on cable television, not just on Fox News, not just on cable news, but on cable television. And they say it's controversial because saying things that are true can be very controversial in the 21st century in the United States of America. You know why? The Democrats. That's why. They don't like the truth. They'll kill the truth, just like they did with their, when they're in cahoots with the FBI and the intelligence community people and putting the kibosh on the New York Post story about, on the lead up to Election Day, Hunter Biden's laptop that he left with a guy in Delaware. That guy is in hiding now, He can't even come out in public because the Democrats and all the violence and everything. But here is, and then, of course, they, the FBI, and they put the kibosh at Twitter and at Facebook, and they, it was an information operation, a propaganda operation run by our intelligence community and our FBI against us, against the American people, like they're the Soviet Union. Talk about Russian collusion. You don't have to collude. They're here, and they're in the machinery. It's the melding the merger of state and corporate power. The Washington Post, Twitter, not anymore, Facebook, the media, the Democrat Party. Benito Mussolini's definition of fascism, the merger of state and corporate power. And President Trump talking to Tucker Carlson last night.
Fox is way down, as you know, and the good old days are long ago. I will say this, it could come back, but they just don't have a lot of credibility, Tucker. You know that perhaps better than anybody. I think it was a terrible move getting rid of you. You were number one on television, and all of a sudden we're doing this interview, but we'll get bigger ratings using this crazy forum that you're using than probably the debate or competition.
Probably the debate, our competition. The Hill newspaper in Washington, D.C. has the headline, Fox News is the debate's biggest loser, by my friend Derek Hunter, writing in The Hill. Let me begin with an observation about the opening format of last night's debate. It was terrible, and it goes downhill from there. But honestly, the Fox News is because of the Murdoch sons and their left-wing daughters. They are murdering themselves. There's a lot of that going on, a lot of self-harm going on in the United States these days. You know, last year in the United States, because of Joe Biden, I assume, we broke our record for suicides. Record number of suicides last year. No problem. That's not a story either, is it? That's just, it's kind of amazing what's going on in the United States of America in so many areas. And nobody taking it on. Who's leading on homelessness? Who's leading on mental illness and mentally ill people being on sidewalks all over America screaming at the top of their lungs? Who's leading on the peace talks, the war in Ukraine? Who's leading on the open borders issue? Who's leading on crime being rampant across the United States, America, big cities, murders, and by the way, very, very much disproportionately impacting the African-American community, both as perpetrators and as victims. But who's leading on that? Anybody? Well, maybe the Reverend Al Charlatan, because he's following Gurgle, I think. Just appalling. Where is the leadership? We need leaders. We are desperate for leaders, not just in the United States, but in the United States. I mean, honestly, in a state, who's leading? The California, number one for homelessness, doubtless number one for mental illness, too. I mean, it is California. And then drug addiction, and what do we have? More than 107,000 drug overdose, deadly, fatal drug overdoses in 1 year, a number greater than the total number of Americans killed in the Vietnam War and the Korean War combined in a single year in the United States. Open borders, fentanyl, coming from China, by the way, into Mexico, merry old Mexico, and then killing 107,000 Americans in a single year. President Trump and Tucker Carlson.
Do you think Epstein killed himself sincerely?
This is great.
I don't know. I will say that, he was a fixture in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
I don't know what Barr said about it either. I have no idea what he said. What did he say? He killed himself, probably?
He said he killed himself and that they were going to do this investigation. They never did the investigation. It's never been public, and they hid it.
The slow roll. We always get the slow roll on these things, and then it takes years and years. Like the Hunter Biden investigation has been going on for more than 5 years. And David Weiss, who used to work with Beau Biden, who's a Delaware insider, who gave the sweetheart deal to Hunter Biden in the courts. And, we're getting the slow roll all over the place. It's why we have no faith and confidence in our government institutions, one of 1,000 reasons. And, of course, then there's our news media. What would we do with the news media if we had one? Hey, I've got breaking news. President Biden's plan to introduce the digital dollar is already underway, and it's very important to understand the potential consequences of this move by the left. Believe it or not, it's about control, and contrary to their claims, it's not in your best interest or mine. Time is of the essence, so taking action now is necessary to protect yourself. You can help protect your savings, your retirement, your family, and your future from the risks of the crazy digital dollar idea by diversifying your savings, your retirement, with IRAs in gold and silver. Time to call the experts at American Alternative Assets. Listen, American Alternative Assets are great. They're friends of mine, friends of the show. Give them a call and get smart. Call them at 888-4GOLD-20, 4GOLD-20. That's 888-446-5360. They'll give you all the guidance you need on safeguarding your retirement savings. Say no to Joe Biden's digital dollar. Call 888-4GOLD-20, 888-446-5360. Call them now. Individual results may vary. There is no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Seek your own legal, tax, investment, and financial advice before opening an account. Yeah. Did Epstein kill himself? That's it's going to be a running joke for 20 years until everybody just forgets about it. And it's, on some level, of course, it's tragic, but the left, they'll shoot your plane down if you irritate them. Hey, it's Chris Plant. Excited to tell you about our July 2024 Listener Sea Cruise. We'll be sailing around the British Isles, visiting Scotland and Ireland. Please join us. Book by this July 31st for extra savings. Visit ChrisPlantCruise.com. All right, the Reuters news agency out of Los Angeles, California, has the story Trump's debate counter-programming draws millions of viewers on X. Lisa Richwine, reporting for the Reuters news agency out of Los Angeles, California, where it's 3 hours earlier than the East Coast, wrote former President Donald Trump, who opted out of a Republican primary debate on Fox News on Wednesday, attracted millions of viewers who watched, or at least scrolled by, a viral interview on social media platform X. The 46-minute conversation with conservative commentator Tucker Carlson drew more than 74 million views, according to statistics on the platform formerly known as Twitter. The artist formerly known as Prince. It's unclear, however, listen to this. It's unclear, however, how long visitors to the site watched the pre-recorded event. X views counts include anyone who scrolled past the video or watched for just a few seconds, as well as those who viewed the entire interview. Let me say that cable news ratings do exactly the same thing. You turn on the Fox News channel, you're eating dinner, you leave the room, you go back into the kitchen, you wander into the garage, you come back. That's all true. So did Fox get 74 million views? Somehow I don't think so. Therefore, Trump and Tucker Carlson, what if Tucker Carlson got 1 penny per view? What would that be? That'd be a lot. Fox News, good idea getting rid of Tucker Carlson, huh? 74 million views for President Trump and Tucker Carlson. And I can assure you, not everybody watched the entire Fox debate either. And I'm going to have to update because the Reuters news agency story out of Los Angeles, California is many hours old and stale. Stale. Hello, stale ones. That was before 11 o'clock last night. And now on X, which is the platform where you put X posts, the number is 189 million views. 189 million views, right? For President Trump and Tucker Carlson. What is that? If you get a penny a thing, how much is that? That'd be pretty good stuff. Of course, he doesn't get a penny per view, but never mind that. Also, Benny Johnson, a well-known online and X individual, Chadwick Moore reveals that Fox News has forbidden all shows on the Fox News channel from mentioning that Trump will be interviewed by Tucker. That was yesterday. Nobody, because they want to keep people watching Fox News, right? I don't think Fox News got 189 million views, but Tucker Carlson and President Trump now at 189 million views. Nothing has ever been watched that much, maybe in the history of anything. That is pretty astonishing. And the number will grow because it's still there for you to check out. And the Daily Caller put this out. They are totally banned from even mentioning that Trump will be on the show. And I was watching Fox News this morning, and I started flipping around, and I went to MSDNC even, and to CNN for a minute, but it's so stupid I couldn't stay there. And Fox News was not talking about Trump and Tucker this morning, and they were barred, prohibited, First Amendment be damned, news organization be damned. Former President of the United States going to be speaking with the guy that they fired, Tucker Carlson, even though he had the highest rated television show on television, certainly on cable television. I thought, was it on television? Certainly on cable television, not just news, but on all of cable television. And they let him go because they don't like people telling the truth if it makes them uncomfortable, like a wedge in their panties, So they were banned from even mentioning that Trump would be on with Tucker Carlson. And so they didn't mention it, of course, which is pretty amazing. And Chadwick Moore is the source on that. That's by name. And Benny Johnson posting it. And he's a good, reliable source for these things. It is pretty amazing, 189 million views. We're gonna take a look at another half hour and see what the number is then. Let's get back to President Trump, because this is honestly, last night they're saying before 11 p.m. 74 million views. Now 189 million views. In fact, I got to tell you, I was talking about this, and my friend Brian Doherty texted me. Now it's 188 million views, and we went to it. And that was about 90 seconds later, and it was 189 million views. Brian sent me 188 million. I said, oh, look what Brian just sent. Sent 188 million views. Michael Piercy, sitting across from me, went to it on Al Gore's Amazing Internet, peace be upon him, and 189 million views. In a matter of 90 seconds, another million views. That's something. I don't like to use the word power in these situations, but holy cow. Let me just say that. And Tucker is the king, and President Trump, boy, oh boy, oh boy. And let me say, he was great. He was great last night. It was, again, we had President Trump and Tucker Carlson on the iPad on the coffee table in front of my best girl and myself. We're hanging out on the L-shaped couch. We brought out the big pillows, and we're hanging out. We just finished the delicious lasagna dinner that my best girl made with the salad and everything, and it was great. And we had one cocktail before dinner, one cocktail, short one, and then we settled in. And then I had one beer, not a Bud Light, and that's it. That's all I had. And then we watched the Tucker and President Trump and Tucker, and I guess we only count as one because they don't count us as two people, right? One of the 189 million views. What did Fox get? We need to know what Fox got. They haven't put the number out yet, which somehow doesn't surprise me because it's going to be embarrassing when the number comes out. Trust in the media is at an all-time low. And Fox, because of the Murdoch sons and their left-wing wives, they're engaging in an act of journalistic and television autoerotic asphyxiation. They're in the closet choking themselves to death, and you know the rest. President Trump with Tucker Carlson last night. These don't even count in the 189 million views, but you're listening to it here.
It started with protests against you, massive protests, right. Organized protests by the left, and then it moved to impeachment twice,
right?
And now indictment. I mean, the next stage is violence. Are you worried that they're going to try and kill you? Why wouldn't they try and kill you, honestly?
They're savage animals. They are people that are sick, really sick.
Now, honestly, this is a discussion that you may have had with your family or with your friends also. And I have had this conversation with people in the past several months and texting about this yesterday with friends as well. And my friend Jeff, I think the last text was, I would not like to be the head of President Trump's security detail. He has Secret Service security detail. But President Trump doesn't like to hide. He likes to go out and mix it up. And by the way, President Trump is going to be according to one news outlet I saw this evening, going to the jail in Atlanta, Georgia, to check himself in to be arrested and mugshotted. And this is a historic event in American history. And by the way, the jail that he is, Fulton County Jail, Atlanta, Georgia, that he's being required to report to, where he will be mugshotted and charged because of this radical leftist extremist with the Black Panther father. Literally, her father raised her member of the Black Panthers, not a radical racist militant or anything like that. She has a Swahili name, right? Fani, not Fanny, Fani, because it's from the original Swahili, meaning prosperous. Fani Willis. I call her Fanny because shut up. But she's a radical. And it turns out that this jail is such a nightmare that a man recently died in there after being mauled by so many bed bugs that they determined that he died from neglect in this prison. It's completely crazy. And I know I have a story on that here somewhere. The jail, the bed bugs. Here's the jail that President Trump is being required to check into. Bed bugs. Georgia man found dead in bed bug infested jail cell died of, quote, severe neglect, independent autopsy says. ABC News reported the story out of Atlanta, Georgia. And this is because leftists run the place and commies kill everyone and destroy everything. See Xi Jinping. See Vlad the Impaler Putin. See the 20th century. This is what commies do. And lefties in the United States of America are not liberals, they're leftists. And that makes them as good as commies. Why do you think everybody's being shot and killed in all the cities and hamlets across America? The problem is not our guns, it's your sons. LaShawn Thompson, an African-American man, the man whose family claimed he was, quote, eaten alive by insects and bed bugs, end quote, in the Fulton County Jail, where President Trump will be booked today and mugshotted. Complications due to severe neglect, according to an independent autopsy. This is the left. This is the Democrat Party. They ruin everything. They destroy the world. They're the left. We saved the world in the 20th century. The United States of America, the U.S. military, standing up to the Soviet Union and the Communist Chinese, and standing, the manning the Fulda Gap and Checkpoint Charlie, fighting the commies in Vietnam, fighting the commies in Korea. The commies destroy the world, and we stood up to them, and we lead the free world, but not under Joe Biden. Thompson's family spoke out in a press conference outside the Georgia State Capitol, along with their attorneys, Ben Crump, naturally, and Michael Harper, where they announced the result of the independent autopsy in which Thompson's manner of death is listed as homicide because of the severe neglect in the jail that President Trump is being required to check into today because of Fani Willis, the spawn of the Black Panthers, who is a radical and an extremist and a Trump hater. And she should probably be in handcuffs, and she may be before all of this is over. The autopsy report obtained by ABC News lists dehydration, malnutrition, severe body insect infestation, as well as untreated decompensated schizophrenia. Sure, that's it's untreated decompensated schizophrenia, because mentally ill people and drug addicts are cast out onto the sidewalks of America, and then when it gets too bad or they commit crimes, they're thrown in jail, and then the Democrats leave them to the bed bugs, and they die. Photos of Thompson covered with bed bugs and images of his filthy jail cell went viral on social media and led to widespread outrage. This is the Democrat jail, okay? This is from May 22nd of 2023, just a couple of months ago. And this is the jail. Here's a picture of the guy, nice-looking guy, nice smile. And Now he's dead because this is what the Democrats do to everything. The attorney McRae said these images all over the internet, all over the media, it's disturbing, it's horrific, and it's a big impact on my family. It's just, this is appalling, and this is the Democrat Party's United States of America. They bring the third world to everything they control. Man, oh, Manischewitz. All right, back to President Trump. This is the jail, and President Trump is going to be checking in. He's reporting to the jail today. And the left is there with a rope and a tree because the Democrat Party is the party of lynching black men from trees. They're the party of the Klan, of the Confederacy, of Jim Crow, and of this jail where this man was left to die, LaShawn Thompson. By who, Michael? By the Democrats, eaten alive by insects and bed bugs in the Fulton County Jail, where the former president of the United States, New York billionaire, Donald Trump, is reporting today because the spawn of a Black Panther radical ginned up a bunch of fake charges, which will eventually probably amount to nothing. Man, oh man. Telling you. All right, let's go back to President Trump. Are you worried about being killed by the left? That's a very good question. By the way, the New York Times, I think they give Nikki Haley, I think they said Nikki Haley's the big winner, right? They gave her a 6.3 out of 10, not even a 6.5. This is their, but they got the East German judges in here at the New York Times. Nikki Haley. And then Pence, number 2. No. Then Christie, number 3, no. And then they attacked Vivek Ramaswamy because they're racists, obviously. They attacked him as a rich, smarmy, smug, all kinds of names. They called him all kinds of names because it's the New York Times. All right, now soundbite number 18. And President Trump talking to Tucker Carlson. And let me say, and it's, I'm getting texts and so on, these online counting methods with the 189 million views, notoriously unreliable. Yeah, so are cable news ratings, by the way. It's true they're on the TVs in those households, but is anybody watching? Is anybody paying attention? Are you texting? Are you on your phone? Are your kids distracting you? Are you making dinner? Are you in the garage? So all of it is a lot of this and a lot of that. President Trump, now let me, we've got more to get to with President Trump as well. But I brought in with me today, I think I want to post this on the wall in here, the famous quote, because the news media, and it works with the counting too. The Soviet author, a woman from the Soviet Union who didn't like the Soviet Union. She wanted freedom, but she was a slave to the left and brutalized all her life. Elena Gorakova, who wrote a book called A Mountain of Crumbs about living under the left, the Soviet Union. And she said, the rules are simple. They lie to us. We know they're lying. They know we know they're lying, but they keep lying to us, and we keep pretending to believe them. That is, that's pretty much where we are in the United States today with our news media and with so many of our politicians. Certainly the Democrats. Hey, do you have nasty odors in your home you just can't get rid of? Well, now you can get rid of any stinky odor with the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. The Thunderstorm gets rid of strong, smelly odors from cooking, cigarette smoke, litter boxes, trash cans. Even Michael Moore is no match for the Eden Pure Thunderstorm. The Thunderstorm starts working in a matter of seconds. I've got 2 of them working right now at home. Any odor, gone, out of here. Plus, there are no expensive filters to have to buy and replace and mail away for and put them on your calendar. With more than 350,000 Thunderstorms already sold, take a look at the 5-star reviews on Al Gore's Amazing Internet. Works like a champ. And this week, I've got a great deal for you. To get your own thunderstorms right now, you can save $200 when you buy 3 Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifiers for whole home protection. That's 3 units for under $200. All you have to do is go to EdenPureDeals.com. Put in the discount code Chris. That's my first name. That's EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code is Chris. Plus, you get free shipping. Yes, sir. And I have more President Trump coming up and more Republican debate on Fox News, where their ratings aren't real either. The rules are simple. They lie to us. We know they're lying to us. You know the rest. We do have more. I'm taking my sweet time getting to the audio today, aren't I? There's more Donald Trump, and then we have some of the other Republicans as well. Right now, let's go back to the telephones, Michael. Michael just got something in his eye. I think it's a metal shard or something from. It might have to come out. We'll get a magnet in the next break. See what we can do. But right now, let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Mark, calling from beautiful Independence, Missouri. Mark, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Like you've done today, and about every day, you tell us the left is here, and these aren't liberals of the left. And other than President Trump, I think those on the stage last night don't realize that. Yes, they were talking about the issues. For example, when they talked about the border wall, they said how they'll strengthen it and secure it. But they didn't really tell us who we were up against. We're up against evil in this Democrat Party. There's no other word for it. I mean, why is the border open? It's because Biden wants to turn the country blue, especially Texas. If they get Texas, it's virtually over for Republican presidential candidates. And like I say, we're really up against evil. This is about issues, but issues are important, but it misses the big picture. And I think the President Trump gets that, but those on the stage last night, they didn't seem to. And there really is a lack of leadership in this country that you were talking about earlier as well.
Yeah, I mean, it really is extraordinary. And my best girl and I were talking about this last night, long before the debate came on. It wasn't in the context of the debate. I'm just amazed at the dearth, the lack, the absence of leaders in the United States of America. And we're not leaders on a global scale anymore because of Joe Biden. And the Democrat Party has lost its ever-loving mind, to be generous. Now, Mark, who's the most famous resident of Independence, Missouri?
Of all time, of course, Harry S. Truman, probably the last honest Democrat.
That could be the case. Harry S. Truman, Independence, Missouri. That's exactly right.